Hi, you guys. Happy Friday. Today, I want to tell you about some mindset shifts. Hello. That I had to make, that I did make, that I got to make, that were the thing that was able to let me completely ditch all my former sugar cravings. Okay, so if you are going to break up with sugar and sugar cravings, then you have to get your mind on board with you. And if you don't, then you will just constantly be fighting against yourself, because the whole thing with sugar and sugar cravings and eating things like sugary foods is that part of you wants it and part of you doesn't want it. And that's why you feel stuck, and that's why you feel like in a cycle or in a loop, or you can stop doing it for a little while and then you will go back. And that's also why you feel like this amount of like guilt, like at least I did when I was eating sugar when I didn't want to be. So you have to see that if you're doing something that you don't want to be doing, it's because you're sort of half in and half out. So you're getting a benefit from it in some way. Maybe it's the taste, maybe it's the food that you love, maybe it's that you think you'll be missing out on something. But also, and ultimately, you don't feel good. You don't feel good when you eat foods that are this like fake sugars, refined flours, processed sugars, okay? So the trick, the key to be able to be free from a craving is to do what you want to do, okay? So I don't know if you have ever heard people talk about like, like drinking, okay, there's this girl that I follow that wrote a book called, The Naked Mind, and she like leads all of her marketing with like, I drink as much as I want. And like, she used to be very addicted to alcohol. She says, I drink as much as I want now. None, but it's because she doesn't want to. So I'm not saying that you won't ever want to eat a cupcake or something like that, or whatever you're wanting right now that isn't making you feel good. But the trick is you have to be on the same page with your mind and get your mind on board with what you want to be doing, okay? So it's because your mind is like basically running the show. Okay, so we could like take sugar away for a month, for a week, for 10 days, for 21 days, like we're gonna do in the Break Up with Sugar course. But if you don't actually want to do it, then it will feel hard, or you will revert back to eating things that aren't serving you after like the time frame is up, basically, okay? So in order to actually be free, you have to change the way you're looking at it, and change the way that you feel about it, and change the way that you see it in general. And so this is what I had to do, because I literally was the person who would every day say, I'm not going to do this tonight. I'm not going to do this tonight. Then I would do it the night. But there's also like the energy in that, even just say like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not going to eat that I'm not going to eat that tonight. I'm not going to eat that this weekend or whatever. You are actually putting a lot of energy into what you don't want. But energy is energy, and attention and focus are just that. And so you need to be focusing on what you do want, which is part of the flip that we make when we actually go through the work to break up with sugar completely. Okay, so I have 3 things, but I'm going to review what I said like yesterday or the day before really quickly, which is you have to go all in on your decision when you commit to the process, okay? Now I know like this is like one of the #1 things for when people join this group, when you write the notes in, like what's stopping you, what's difficult. Almost like I would say 75% of people are putting like cravings for sugar. So I know this is a big deal. I know this is a problem in the world. And I also know that a lot of our food system contains sugars and fake sugars, so it's not a surprise. So you have to go all in on your commitment to your body, to your health, to be able to work through this stuff and get to the other side where the foods that are hard, they don't have a thing on you. They don't have power over you. You are the one that has the control, and you are the one that says how it's gonna be, and you are the one that is the boss of your body, okay? So that's the first part, and like making it non-negotiable so that when you get into those moments where you feel triggered, like the typical times, then you already know what your answer is going to be. It's no, I'm not doing that because I said so, because I decided, because I committed to myself, and because that's how it's going to be, and I'm working through this process. So the thing that a lot of people miss is that you can be like, I'm all in, like I'm not going to eat sugar for 10 days, but if you don't do anything else, like while you're not eating sugar for 10 days, then you probably will just go back to eating sugar on day 11, because you have to work with the thoughts and work with your thoughts and your actions intertwined to be able to like this whole thing differently and to change how you change your relationship to sugar. That's really what it is. Sugar is always going to be around, and it's not that you can't have it. It's the addiction to it, right? Okay, so that was a long intro. Okay, so number 1. If you want to fully break up with your cravings or not have them have power over you, then you need to see the relationship with these kind of foods for what it really is. And what it is it's take. So the sugar is taking and taking from you. It's not give and take. It's not like a happy relationship. So imagine if sugar was your boyfriend, and I'm talking about like crystallized cane sugar that's GMO, that's not organic, that's like literally creating addictive chemical changes in your brain every time you consume it. It's making your body acidic, leaving you with a worse condition than before, okay? So it's taking from you versus giving and taking. So this is where we start to see that foods are not all equal. And I believe that real foods are not equal to processed foods. And some people don't believe that, but I believe that with my whole heart because I know what foods actually physically do. And you've got to be like really super, super strong in your mindset to like just eat a bunch of crap and be fine, basically, okay? So I'm all here for ease and health and longevity. And so that also, sugar gives you wrinkles. So, why would we want that? Like too much of it anyways. So if the relationship with these foods like donuts and like, I'm just talking about like crap, like syrups, like especially like sugar-free syrups, things that are really harmful. They're not real. They're not real. They're not real. So it's taking from you because it's hurting your cells. It's hurting your organs. It's hurting your adrenal glands. It's like making them agitated and irritable. And it's making you agitated and irritable. It's making you not have the energy. And a lot of you guys that commented when you join the group, you talk about like, I want more energy. And then your problem is that you crave sugar. Well, they're the same. Like, it's the kind of sugar that you're eating that's either going to create sustainable energy or it's going to give you fake energy that lasts 5 minutes and then leaves you wanting more and more and more, and you're actually not getting anywhere, right? So if this type of sugar that's not good, it's not really food, it's taking from you and taking from you. So it gives you maybe energy in the form of, yes, it's calories, it's something, it creates an insulin response, but it doesn't give you nutrients, it doesn't give you soothing, it doesn't give you like something your cells are gonna be like, yay, like healthy glucose or anything like that, right? So it's harmful internally, and it's also harmful for your emotions because it leaves you in a position where you have done something that you don't want to do again, and it starts to break trust with yourself. And I think the hardest thing is like you feel like you're in a cycle where you you just can't do what you say you're gonna do, and that's really hard on your confidence and your faith to be able to like move through it and actually be on the other side, right? But you can, don't worry, you can, because I did. Okay, the second thing is you have to reassure your mind, your friend, the mind, that you still get to have what you want, because this FOMO, this fear of missing out, is for real. It's a real thing. And if you are constantly fearing that if you decide to not eat sugar, let's say, then your life will suck. And you can't have any fun, and your favorite treats are going to be taken away from you like a little kid, and like you're being punished with like a punishment vibe on the same page because you're not gonna do it. Like, it's like, it feels like too far off, and then like you have to do something that you hate. That's like where this like struggle mentality comes in. Like, I have to do things that are hard, and I have to do things that I hate in order to have what I want. And that is not true. So you have to like break up with this fear of missing out. Like, I'm not going to be able to enjoy my life. I won't be able to go out to eat. I won't be able to do blah, 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 blah. That's not true, and that's not what I'm saying. And if you want to break up with sugar, you can do it in a way where you get to eat what you want to eat, okay? You actually have to. You have to give yourself permission to eat things that you want to eat. You just have to be smart about it and do it in a very practical way where you also are breaking the physical addiction to this stuff, because it's real, you guys. Like, more addictive than crack. Like, it's not okay that we just go around and smoke crack cocaine for lunch. So why is it okay that the food companies are giving us sugar in all of our food, right? So you have to be able to know that you can still have what you want. You're not gonna have a sucky food life, and you can get the health and the energy and the body that you want, and not have sugar have a hold on you. So you get a win-win-win. So it's kind of like point number one. The relationship has to change where it's give and take. So you get positive things from the foods that you consume, and you aren't settling anymore from just like eating things that taste good for 1 second, that give you a hit for 1 minute or 5 minutes, and then leave you worse off than you started, okay? Because foods have so much power, but when you choose foods that aren't really foods, that are chemically laden and man-made, they're not gonna do it for you. They're not gonna give you what you actually really want, okay? And then the third point is to see that when you stop taking in the sugar that is harmful, that it is an act of love. It is an act of taking care of yourself and choosing yourself. So right now, most of the time, people will think like, I want, let's just say, this cookie. I really want to eat this cookie. And that's me giving myself what I want, and that feels good, okay? But check in. Is that a give and a take relationship? Is the cookie gonna give you something that's gonna make your cells feel alive, that's gonna benefit you and your goals? Because people don't just walk around, like, tell me if I'm wrong, you guys, but I'm pretty sure you aren't just walking around going, I just really wanna give up sugar, but like, that's the only thing. I have no ulterior motive. Like, I don't want my skin to glow, and I don't want to look ageless, or like get my stomach flat and not be bloated or lose 10 pounds. I just really don't want to eat this. That's not what's happening, right? Like, you want it because you also want the physical changes and the internal physical changes and all of that. And like the energy, the true, pure, positive energy. And it's not just that. So you have to see that when you're doing that, when you're in the moment of like, well, I'm gonna just give myself the cake, I'm gonna give myself the cookie, I'm gonna give myself the syrupy Starbucks or whatever, because I'm being nice to myself. It's not actually what's happening. You're actually not being nice to yourself. You're not choosing what's ultimately for your benefit and for you to have what you really want. So you don't really want that stuff. You really want to be able to eat what you want and feel healthy, know you're healthy, look the way you want to look, right? And so what we have to like break apart here is that it's one or the other. It's not one or the other. It's you get to have what you want, and you get to eat what you want, and your brain gets to have what it wants, and your mind gets to be on board, and you get to have the skin, the health, the body, the weight loss, whatever. And that you choosing something different, you choosing something better, you choosing something upgraded, made of something pure and real, is choosing yourself. And it is a form of self-love. And that can sound cheesy, but it's actually what's true. And the second that I got this, that for me, it's always been that when I actually saw foods for what they were, I wanted nothing to do with them anymore. I was like, that is not gonna be good enough for me. So it's like, if it's taking and taking, it's not a like loving relationship, then what are you doing? Like, raise your standards and love yourself enough to choose something that's gonna give to you a body that supports you for a long time and that feels amazing and that has the energy. So we don't, like, I hated when these foods had power over me, like the pretzels in my pantry. If I couldn't have pretzels in my pantry, because I would literally eat the whole bag within 1 or 2 sittings and then feel so full and gross and be so mad at myself, right? Every single morning when I would wake up, like, well, I'm gonna go running, but my stomach is so full. Like, I would just be so like upset and angry with myself for not following through. But when I started to see that, like, okay, this is what this flour is. This is what these packaged foods are. They're not doing anything for me. It's like I want what I want, and I want it enough to try something new, to try something different. So let me just tell you guys, when I have run this sugar challenge before, people have the craziest, amazing results, right? And the reason is that sugar is very powerful for the negative in the body. It's very common to eat it a lot, and when you omit it and you take it away, the body has a lot of room and a lot of energy to do a lot of positive things in a very short amount of time. So, I mean, my clients have lost like 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 10 pounds, 17 pounds just on this program off taking sugar away. And the key, though, is to be in the world of what's happening for long enough that you completely change the way you're looking at it, that change the way that you're interacting with the food. So it's eating different foods, it's understanding the foods, it's knowing the foods, and yeah, choosing differently and feeling the differences, and then like continuing on with what you actually want it to be. So this isn't about like not eating anything fun for 21 days or like being on a diet that sucks or whatever. It's just about like reconnecting to what you want and reconnecting to what sugars are doing and choosing the right kinds of sugars. So if you're interested in that and you want to have dramatic changes in probably the fastest amount of time, then you can join my Breakup with Sugar program, which starts Monday the 10th. So it's Friday right now. So you have a couple days. You can join the 3-week course, which is going to have like daily practices and accountability for $197, or you can get it for free if you are a Food Rebel Eats member, which is $47 to join for the month. So, or you can pay for the year because we do stuff like this every single month. So let me know if you need either link, and if you have any questions, I will be back, and hope you guys have a really good weekend. Okay, bye.